Hey guys, Digitech Lifestyle here back with another video. Here you're going to hear the Bank of England talk about monetary policy and also talk about banks. And this guy's going to ask him a couple of questions regarding banking and crypto. So let me get it started. Here you go.
The US bank wobbles are back and the BTFP safety net has been withdrawn. I just wanted to ask you, are you ready for a bout of financial instability?
I'm sorry, I'm having a slight up.
The US bank wobbles are back and the Fed has withdrawn the BTFP safety net. Are you ready for a bout of financial instability and what will be your first lines of defence? And secondly, if I may, you've been very clear and consistently clear about the risks that crypto poses. What do you feel when you see not one but two former chancellors of the Exchequer being paid by the crypto industry ostensibly to give it a foothold in this country?
I'm sorry, I got the first question. Can you just do the end of the second question? I'm sorry, there's something wrong with that bit of the room at this point. I really apologise.
Sorry, part wasn't clear. The first question or the second?
Oh, crypto.
So yeah.
Let me interject here, right? They're talking about the Fed withdrawing the BFT safety net. What does that mean? And I'm hoping you're going to learn here about BFT and what he's going to say about it. But also, when it comes to crypto, he's going to be talking about Andrew Bailey, the Bank of England CEO, whatever he is going to be talking about stable coins, and he doesn't mean like Bitcoin. So you're going to hear it. Let me get started again.
We now have two chancellors. Are you afraid of a sort of backdoor channel of influence from the crypto industry into regulatory policy?
I'll also interject here as well. We talked about basically lobbying, and this is something that happens in the United States where you have Gary Gensler being lobbied to crush crypto, and over here you're having two chancellors, ex-chancellors. Hammond was one of them. I touched on a video last week where Hammond, and I think it's Copper, the crypto company he was involved in, he had to move out from it or leave it for some other reason. I can't remember the exact details, but lobbying is a bit of a problem in as far as I'm concerned. Governments should essentially just regulate this stuff and done with it. And you're going to hear Andrew Bailey talk about regulations as well.
UK.
So the first question is on the recent news in the US banking system. Yeah. Well, look, I think we follow it very closely. I mean, followed very closely, yesterday's news. But I would say that, we had events, last March, which, we all had to deal with. But I think the system as a whole came through in a very robust condition, actually. And I would emphasise this. I think, we had some failures. We had quite a lot of events in March last year. But when you look at the whole period, and we certainly spend a lot of time, obviously, as the regulator looking at the banks that we regulate. I think the system has come through in a very strong situation, and I think it is a very strong endorsement of the reforms that we put in place post the crisis. Now, of course, we're looking at the lessons. It's obviously the right thing to do to look at the lessons to be learned from that. But I don't think that we're seeing a fundamental question mark over the stability of the banking system at the moment. I really don't. On crypto. I really haven't changed. I mean, look, can I, by the way, draw a distinction? I think it's important when we talk about crypto to just draw a distinction between two things. One is what I tend to call unbacked crypto of the Bitcoin variety. The other is stable coins. I think they're different animals in that sense. I'm afraid I continue to think that unbacked crypto, is essentially has no intrinsic value. It may have value to people who want to own bits of it, but it doesn't have an intrinsic value. And it is a highly volatile investment. I think it should be regulated appropriately with that in mind, but I think we have to always get the message across. That is a highly volatile instrument to hold. Now, you may want to hold it, but please understand what you've got. And it's not money, and it is not in any sense money. Stablecoins purport to be money. They purport to be used in payments. You'll have seen that we've put out, we've got legislation now in this country which sets out the regulatory framework for stablecoins, which is important. And we in the Bank of England, for so-called systemic stablecoins, those that would be used more widely, will put in place the rules around that. Now, because they purport to be money, and because that is their intended use, they will have to be held to a higher standard. With unbacked crypto, it's not money. Nobody should, I think, be under any illusions. With stablecoins purporting to be money, they will have to maintain the standards of money. I think the public has a right to expect they hold their value, and so that's what we will be aiming for.
The only thing I was going to add to that, Andrew, was just some of the underlying technologies, particularly around distributed ledger technology, blockchain. They're obviously of interest. We're experimenting with them, just as a lot of other central banks are. The financial sector is doing a huge amount of experimentation to see if the use cases where they could be relevant.
The technology, not the crypto.
Yeah, but it's the technology that often gets emphasised as being, why people are getting involved in them. So, but that's certainly why we're interested in their potential use cases. The technology, to stress.
So you heard they're experimenting with the technology. Here's the problem, what he's saying about, and he said something about not the crypto. Well, the whole purpose of the ledger technology or whatever, blockchain or whatever it is that you have to use the asset itself in order to, one, pay for the services that you're going to get. So him saying that they're not on about the crypto but the ledger doesn't make sense to me, because if you're going to use, say, XRP Ledger, the token has to come with it. It is that simple, as far as I understand it. Anyway, moving on. To cap this video off, and if you like this kind of content, please do like and subscribe. Listen to this video, and then I'm going to go.
Just about institutions. Galaxy touches so many institutions. You probably talk to every investor and potential investor in digital assets all around the world. What is the lay of the land today? How are investors thinking about allocations to crypto?
So if we would have had this conversation a month ago, I would say it's still very bleak. Most people prefer to sit on the sidelines, a lot of wait and see, and a lot of people who just continue to kind of punt the decision. And each different institution or investor has their own unique reasoning, from it's not in my benchmark to it's high risk, it's too much vol, we don't have any liquid capital to actually even commit right now. There's the gamut. Over the last month, I would say that things have definitely changed. Speaking to some large institutions in the US, where even the internal climate, they said, had gone from hostile to lukewarm. And actually, we see it in our flow data as well. The inflows have definitely started to pick up, and that is very much a recent phenomenon. I think people are starting to get a little bit more excited that, hey, Bitcoin is definitely here to stay. This spot ETF isn't any longer about an if, it's just a matter of when. And a lot of people are then just suspecting that, well, once
things are changing, guys, with the spot ETF launched, institutions are now much more comfortable with Bitcoin in particular. I know Bank of England is saying no to Bitcoin in particular, and they're not quite happy, but they're more happy with stablecoins. Here's the thing: I don't think it matters what country says. If you look at what happened with Ripple, it was sued, but other countries still, accept Ripple and treat it with kindness, and are putting regulations in place like the Bank of England and stuff like that, talking about the ledger technology. So with that said, I'm going to finish this off. I'm going to leave you guys. Please do like and subscribe. Have a great day. Take care of yourself now. Bye.